Hi guys, good day, it's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class is all about calculating quartiles for group data. So without further ado, let's do this topic. Now there are different methods class in solving for quartiles for group data. The first one, we have the linear interpolation, and this is the most commonly used class. The second one, we have Mendenhall-Synsic. And then the third one, we have empirical distribution number with averaging. Now, in your book right now, class, you have this one, the linear interpolation, and then empirical distribution number with averaging. Now, for me, class, better not to use this one because this will be quite confusing, class, with regards to the students. Let me give you example, class. By the way, class, the formula for this one, there would be NK divided by 4. Now, this will be quite confusing, class, with regards to the students. Let me give you example, class, for quartile 1. Example, when you solve for this formula and the answer for quartile 1, there will be 3.25. Rules right there, class, with regards to empirical distribution, you always run up to the nearest whole number if your answer contains a decimal. Therefore, quartile 1, there will be 4. That's the thing there, class, with regards to empirical distribution. You always run up to the nearest whole number if the answer, class, contains a decimal. Now, of course, class, this is not yet the answer 4 because quartiles are measures of position. Once again, class, quartiles are measures of position. If your answer for quartile 1, that would be 4. Therefore, if this is your given data, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, then it's already been arranged. So, first position, second, third, fourth. So, therefore, quartile 1 is 6. Once again, class, this is just the position. Therefore, quartile 1 is 6. This is the answer, class. So, fourth position, therefore, quartile 1 is 6. Because quartiles are just measures of position. Alright, now, when you solve for quartile 1, another example, and your answer is 3.50. Automatic, class, in empirical distribution, quartile 1, the position there would be 4. You always run up. Last one example, quartile 1 is equal to 5.75. Contains a decimal, so therefore quartile 1, there would be the 6th position. So that's the thing there, class, with regards to empirical distribution. If the answer, class, is a decimal, contains a decimal, you always run up. Now, the problem right here, class, just an example, class. The problem right here, class, when you solve for quartile 1, the answer, class, is a whole number. Example, the answer, class, is 4. Now, with regards to empirical distribution, class, if your answer is a whole number, you need to get the average, class, of this position and then the next position. Once again, class, this is the 4th position. So, 4th position plus the 5th position and then divide 2. And it will be quite confusing, class, with regards to the students. You will be asking questions, sir, why do we need to get the average if the answer, sir, is a whole number? Because in linear interpolation, class, and then Mendenhall-Synsic, if the answer, class, is a whole number, simply look at the position, class. Example, class, the answer is 4. Simply look at the 4th position and that will be the answer for quartile 1. Example, 4th position, 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, quartile 1 is 6. Another example, if the answer for quartile 1, just an example, class, answer for quartile 1, that will be 7. Therefore, simply look at the 7th position. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Therefore, the answer, class, is 10. Once again, class, just an example, class. Once again, class, this is just an example. We're looking for quartile 1. The answer, class, is 7. So, therefore, simply look at the 7th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Therefore, class, the answer is 10. Because in Mendenhall and linear interpolation, class, if the answer, class, is a whole number, simply look at the position, class. But in empirical distribution, if the answer is a whole number, you need to get the average, class, of this position and then the second position, the next position. So that would be 4th. This is 4th, right? 4th plus 5th and then divided by 2. It will be quite confusing, class, with regards to the students. That's what, class, I told you a while ago. Better to use linear interpolation and then Mendenhall-Synsic. But most commonly used, class, that would be linear interpolation. Alright, so in today's video, class, we'll be focusing on Mendenhall-Synsic. And then for linear interpolation, class, I will just make another video for this one, class. I will just put the link on the description down below. Feel free to see the video, class. I will give you 2 examples, class, with regards to Mendenhall-Synsic. Alright, let's do that. Alright, so this will be the rule, class. If your answer, class, contains a decimal for Mendenhall-Synsic, once again, class, for linear interpolation and then Mendenhall-Synsic, they will have the same formula, class. The difference, class, if your answer contains a decimal, very different procedure, class. Alright, so once again, for Mendenhall-Synsic, for a whole number, if your answer is a whole number, simply take the position So take the median for quartile 2, and then for quartile 3, take the position. Now, if your answer contains a decimal 0.25, so for quartile 1, round down, and then for quartile 3, that would be round down. Now, if your answer contains a decimal, that would be 0.50, so quartile 1, round up, and then quartile 2, average of two middle values, and then for quartile 3, that would be round down. Once again, class, check this one out, class. 0.50 for quartile 3, that would be round down. For quartile 1, that would be round up. For 0.25, always round down. So same, round down, quartile 1, quartile 3, that would be round down. For 0.50, that would be round up. But for quartile 3, it should be round down. And then for 0.75, always round up. Alright, let's do that. Let's start with example number 1. So this will be our formula. We have Q sub K. Once again, plus Q and then K on the bottom part. We read this one Q sub K. Okay, so we have Q sub K is equal to K quantity n plus 1. Once again, class, n is the total number of data set. Once again, class, n is the total number of samples, total number of data set. And then plus 1 is constant divided by 4. Once again, class, K is the quartile that we're looking for. So we have K quantity, n is the total number of samples, plus 1 divided by 4. Alright, let's do that. Example number 1. Alright, so let me copy the formula. Q sub K equals K and then n plus 1 divided by 4. So we're looking for quartile 1. Once again, class, our given, we have calculate the quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and then interquartile range in the given data set 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, 10. So it's already been arranged, so no need to worry. So simply, once again, class, if the data set is not yet arranged, you need to arrange, class. So it's already been arranged, so therefore we're looking for quartile 1. So therefore K is 1. So K sub 1, we're looking for quartile 1, is equal to K is 1. Once again, class, K is the quartile that we're looking for. We're looking for quartile 1, so therefore K is 1. So 1 times n plus 1 divide 4. So this will be quartile 1 is equal to 1. And then n is the total number of data sets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be 7. So this will be 7. Once again, class, n is the total number of samples, total number of data sets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so 7 plus 1, that would be 8. Once again, class, simplify inside the parentheses. So 7 plus 1, that would be 8. Divide 4. So quartile 1 is equal to 1 times 8. What's the answer, class? That's correct. That would be 8 divided by 4. So quartile 1 is equal to, so 8 divided by 4, what's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be 2. Now, is this the answer, class, for quartile 1? Nope. This is not the answer, class. We don't have 2 right here. As you can see, class, we don't have 2 right here. Because when you solve for quartile, class, that will be the measures of position. This is just the position, class. So therefore, quartile 1, that would be on second position. So second position, so first position, and then second position. So therefore, quartile 1, that would be 4. Once again, class, be careful with this one, class. Quartile 1 is equal to 4. 2 right here, class, is not yet the quartile. This is just the position, class. Therefore, quartile 1, that would be equal to 4. Second position is 4. Once again, class, if there is no decimal, very easy, class, simply take the position. Second position, that would be 4. So therefore, quartile 1 is 4. Alright, so let's find quartile 2. So this is quartile 1. Let's have quartile 2. So, Q sub K equals K n plus 1 divided by 4. So, Q sub 2, we're looking for quartile 2. So, 2 times n is the total number of samples. That will be 7 plus 1 divide 4. So, Q sub 2 equals 2 times 7 plus 1 is 8 divide 4. So, quartile 2 is equals to 2 times 8. That will be 16 divide 4. I hope, class, you're still following. Once again, class, Q sub K, we're looking for quartile 2, therefore K is 2. And then 2 times n is the total number of samples, 7 plus 1. So 2 times 7 plus 1, multiply this, simplify inside the parentheses, 7 plus 1, that would be 8. And then multiply, 2 times 8 is 16, divide 4. So quartile 2, the position, that would be 4. Once again, class, this is not yet the answer, class. This is just the position, class. Therefore, quartile 2, that would be equal to 4. So, fourth position. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, that would be 6. So, therefore, quartile 2 is 6. Okay, once again, class, this is the answer, class. Quartile 1 is 4. Quartile 2 is 6. Alright, and then last one, quartile 3. or third quartile. So, k and then n plus 1 over 4. So, this will be q sub k. So, q sub 3, quartile 3. So, 3 times n is 7 plus 1 divided by 4. So, q sub 3 equals, so 3 times 7 plus 1 is 8 divided by 4. So, q sub 3, 3 times 8. Do it step by step, class. Do it step by step. 3 times 8 is 24 divided by 4. So, q sub 3 is equal to 24 divided by 4. That would be 6. So, 6 positions. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Therefore, that would be 8. So, quartile 3 is equals to 8. Alright, and then you're all set, class, for quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3. So, quartile 1 is 4, quartile 2 is 6, quartile 3, that would be 8. And then to find interquartile range, simply subtract this one, quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Alright, let's do that. So, IQR equals, quartile 3 is 8, minus quartile 1 is 4. So, 8 minus 4. So, therefore, IQR, interquartile range, that would be equal to 4. And then you're all set, class. That's it, class. All set. With regards to example number 1, class. Alright, so let's have another example, class. What if the answer contains a decimal? Once again, class, if you have some questions with this one, class, you have given data set, any questions, class, you put your question, class, on the comment section down below because we'll be answering that one, class. Alright, so let's proceed now to example number 2. Alright, so let's have example number 2. So calculate quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3 in the given data set. So given data set 2, 8, 10, 25, 12, 7, 5, 3, 10, 3, 9, 4, and then 9. So it's not yet arranged, so we need to arrange this one. Alright, let's do it step by step. The smallest number, that would be 2. Alright, so we have 2. Next, we have 3. 1 and then 2. We have 2 3s. Right, 3 and then 3. Next, for 3, do we have 4? Yup, 4. Only 1 4. So 4. Next, we have 5. Let's do it step by step, class. 5. Once again, class, you need to arrange the number, class. Do we have 6? Nope. We have 7. So 7. Alright, and then 8. So 8. We have 2 9s. 9 and then 9. Alright, and then 10. We have 2 10s. 10 and then 10. Alright, 12. And then 25. This one right here. 25. Alright, so let's do that. Let's solve for quartile 1. So quartile 1. So once again, class, you always check, class, how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, let's do that. Alright, so this will be our formula. So quartile 1. So q sub 1. So 1 times n. N is the total number of samples. That will be 13. Plus 1 divide 4. Once again, class, I will just directly answer this one, class. This will be our formula. So q sub k. K is the quartile that we're looking for. We're looking for quartile 1. And then k is 1. We're looking for quartile 1. Parenthesis or quantity. N is the total number of samples. That will be 13 plus 1. And then divide 4. So quartile 1 is equal to 1. And then 13 plus 1, that would be 4. 14. Not 4, class. 14. 13 plus 1, that would be 14. And then divide 4. So 1 times 14, that would be 14. So 14 divided by 4. Let's divide this one. 14 divided by 4. So 14 divided by 4, that's 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract. 14 minus 12 is 2. Add 1 0. So, bring down 0. You think this one is 20. So, you copy decimal. 1 decimal here. Copy decimal point. So, 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract. That would be 0. So, therefore, quartile 1 is 3.5. So, quartile 1 is 3.5. Alright, so let's look at our table. So, quartile 1 is 3.5. Now, if it's 0.5, always round up. Once again, class, for quartile 1, if it's 0.5, you always round up. Now, for quartile 2, class, if it's 0.5, average of 2 middle values. Okay, once again, class, I hope you're not confused, class. If it's 0.5 for quartile 2, average of 2 middle values. Example, class. If you're looking for, just an example, class. If you're looking for quartile 2 and then your answer, class, is 3.5. Just an example, class. If you're looking for quartile 2 and then the answer, class, is 3.5, 0.5, that would be average, right? Once again, class, 0.5, that would be average. Just an example, class. If you're looking for quartile 2 is 3.5. Therefore, average of 3.5. Average of two middle numbers, so 3.5, that would be 3 and 4, right? Third and fourth, this one right here. So 3 plus 4 divide 2. This is the thing that you will do, class, for quartile 2. Average of two middle values. So 3.5, that would be 3 and 4. So third position and then fourth position. So 3 plus 4 divide 2. But since we're looking for quartile 1, and then the answer is 3.5. So 3.5, once again, for quartile 1, if it's 0.5, round up. So therefore, this will be 4. Alright, so quartile 1, that would be fourth position. Alright, so what would be the fourth position, class? Fourth position, first, second, third, and then fourth. This one right here. Alright, so quartile 1 is equal to 4. Once again, class, the fourth position, this one right here. So once again, always round up. This is 3.5. You round up, that would be equal to 4. Round up to the nearest whole number, that would be equal to 4. So fourth position, so first, second, third, and then fourth. That would be 4. That's it, class. We're all set. Alright, so quartile 2, let's do that. So that will be 2 times, so k is 2. And then n is the total number of samples, that will be 13 plus 1. Divide 4. So quartile 2 is equals to 2 times 13 plus 1, that will be 14. Divide 4. So quartile 2 is equals to 2 times 14. What's the answer, class? That's correct. That would be 28. Right? 2 times 14, that would be 28. Divide 4. 28 divided by, 28 divided by 4, not 7. 28 divided by 4, what's the answer, class? That's correct. That would be 7. Alright, so therefore, quartile 2, that would be the 7th position. Very easy, class, if it's a whole number. So if it's a whole number, take the position. So that would be the 7th position. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then 7. This one right here. Alright, so a while ago, quartile 1 is 4. Then quartile 2, the 7th position, that would be 8. So quartile 2 is equals to 8. And then you're all set. Alright, so last one, quartile 3. Alright, so quartile 3, that would be 3. So k is 3. So 3 times 13 plus 1, divide 4. So quartile 3 equals 3 times 13 plus 1, that would be 14, divide 4. So quartile 3 equals 3 times 14. So 14 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 carry 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, once again, that's 3 times 4 is 12. 2 carry 1. And then 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 42. And then divide 4. Alright, let's do that. 42 divide 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract. That would be 0. And then bring down 2. So 2 divided by 4, that's cannot be. That would be 0. And then 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. Add 1 0. Alright, so bring down 0. Put a decimal. Once again, class, 2 divided by 4, that's cannot be. That would be 0. 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract. That would be 2. Bring down another 0. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 4, that would be 20. Subtract, that would be 0. That would be 10.5. So quartile 3 is 10.5. Alright, so let's check our table. Quartile 3, 10.5. Quartile 3, 0.5. The decimal is 0.5. Is it round up or round down? That's correct. That would be round down. Once again, class. Quartile 3. Look at the table, class. Quartile 3. If it's 0.50, you round down. So this is 0.50. This is 10.5. 0.50. Therefore, we need to round down. This will be 10. Once again, class, you always look at the table, class. 0.50 for quartile 3, that would be round down. So therefore, class, this 10.5, this will become 10. So this will become 10. Once again, class, this will become 10. You always round down because quartile 3, if it's 0.50, always round down. Always look at the table, class. Once again, class, always look at your guide. Quartile 3, that would be round down for 0.50. Alright, so this 10.5, this becomes 10. Alright, so the 10th position. So, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 9, and then 10. This one right here. Alright, so therefore, quartile 3 is equal to 10. So, we don't have enough space, class. Quartile 3 is equals to 10. And then that's it, class. You're all set. So you find the interquartile range. Let's do that. So quartile 3, that would be 10. So 10 minus quartile 1 is 4. So 10 minus 4, that would be 6. So IQR is 6. That's it, class. We're all set. That's the answer, class, with regards to example number 2. All set, class. All set. Once again, class, you always look at your table, class. This will be your guide, class. This will be your guide, class, with regards to Mendenhall Sensich. Alright, so you try this one, class, and then you put your answer on the comment section down below. Let me check, class, if you really understand our topic. So calculate the quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and interquartile range in the given data set. So these are the given numbers, and then you arrange, class. Alright, so once again, I hope you learned something new today. If you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.